Namaskar, this is Tabassum Aranjo. Welcome to the Samavesh podcast. This podcast includes at the Samavesh inclusion of all beneficiaries across all strata of society, irrespective of their socio-economic status, caste, creed, religion, age, and even the differently abled towards leading a more gainful and dignified life. In order to achieve this, it is necessary to capture the true essence of the scope and efforts required for the upliftment of our fellow countrymen and women. And we at Samavesh strive to achieve this through the showcasing of philanthropic organizations, NGOs, charitable trusts, and projects at ground level in such a way that it shows tangible impact. So, join us today in building a more inclusive India. Our guest on the podcast today is Mr. Rajiv Mehta, trustee of Ratnanidhi Charitable Trust, Mumbai. Welcome, Rajiv ji, and thank you for joining us on the podcast.
My pleasure and thank you, Tabassumji.
We bring this conversation to you on site from the library of Ratnanidhi Charitable Trust located at Khetwadi in Mumbai. This is a wealth of knowledge which houses 50,000 books donated by authors and other donors and includes in its collection encyclopedias, atlases, and dictionaries for donation. Rajiv ji, can you tell us more about this library?
So this library has 50,000 plus books of children books, kindergarten books, junior school, middle school, senior school books, college level books for competitive exams like IIT, JEE, NEET, and academic books for college, postgraduate studies book, and books on allied subjects like music, dancing, painting, photography, cooking, gardening, yoga, spiritual, self-help, motivational, fiction books, non-fiction books on various types. The purpose of the library is that we keep on donating books from this library to set up or to strengthen existing libraries of schools and colleges across India. See, institutional based donation, where upon a request from a valid school or a college, 50 to 100 books we donate after understanding from them what type of books they require, with their teachers or librarians are very well aware. And our job is to strengthen the libraries so that across length and breadth of India, especially in rural India, our children, our kids, and students of those cities and villages and towns have access to the high quality books which they do not get otherwise to make their career path better.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Ratnanidhi was established 25 years ago by Mr. Mahendra Mehta, Rajiv ji's father, mainly to tackle the poverty problems in Mumbai, especially among the youth and children who are the future citizens of the country. From its humble origins as a family institution, it has grown rapidly over the years, and its vast range of activities span not only across India but across other developing countries as well. The Ratnanidhi is committed to the welfare of youth and children from the lowest strata of society, from the most underserved strata of society, and even the disabled from the underserved strata of society, and irrespective of their caste, creed, religion. Rajivji, so tell us how it was being brought up in a philanthropic family and taking the mantle of community service from your father.
In a business family, ours is a joint family. So every day during breakfast, lunch, dinner, post dinner, or when we go out, along with business, we also end up talking about charity and initiative my father and mother takes in changing lives of people, and they share their experiences of what happens when little bit what they do is make so much big difference in life of under served community, and that being part of our family discussions continuously over the 20 30 years of children school and college, and after that in business, when this is a part of daily family discussion, you imbibe those values, shared values of a mission, about things of letting go, willingness to help other people and to see the change in their life. These are values we inculcate, and that become part of your DNA, part of your blood to work. So when my father passed away, he did not tell me, Rajiv, you continue Ratnanidhi. Because if I have to continue, it has to come from within. It cannot be told to anybody, but this is not a business. It is
That's
not
true.
a wealth in that context of material wealth. 25, 30 days down the line, then I told my mother, "Ke bhai, if you wish to continue, you have to come to office and explain me and share your experiences working with for my father of Ratnanidhi. I'll be able to understand a lot of things if you share your experience." And there I started a journey with my mother. Every day during office, in home, post dinner, and in the breakfast, she shared her experiences of actual project execution, impact, framework, funding, fundraising, relationship management, donor engagement, community driven projects. And they started learning and started applying business principles of efficient working to managing a non-profit in a business-like manner, but with compassion. In a phrase, I would say like compassion in action. And the journey began. And then each generation brings their thought process, their skills on the table, and the problems of tomorrow to be tackled today so they do not become too big. So we that's how we added so many new facets of different projects and different areas into our core and created a technological platform to manage the entire project execution administration effectively, reduce the cost and creating a paperless operation. Some of the projects become international. Then we started getting international project people as partners to work with us, and their skill set, their vision became part of our mission to understand and create that impact in India, like Google Foundation America, IIT Bombay at the Batik, World Bank Washington DC, and SLO Luxottica Co France. These are world largest people either in the tech field or in the technology field or in the research field or in the spectacle or World Bank bankers to the world. When this institution becomes our project partners, there's a lot of learning that comes to us and our team here, which translate into defined set of scaled action at the lowest level of the society across from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Nagaland to interiors of Gujarat.
That's nice to know, sir. And Ratnanidhi has, under the able trusteeship of Rajiv ji, flourished over the years and taken impactful measures in initiatives in the healthcare and education areas. Today, we will focus on the education initiatives of Ratnanidhi, and the healthcare initiatives will carry forward to another conversation later. Uh, Ratnanidhi has taken a lot of initiatives to support education. We will focus on a few projects which have had a vast impact on promoting education among the most underserved strata of society, for whom putting food on the table is of foremost priority. We all know that hunger can lead to a loss of concentration and also lead to a dropout from school from children who are unable to study and concentrate and perform well because of hunger. Ratnanidhi addresses this issue through its Food for Education project, in which it serves free homemade food cooked in its own kitchen to across schools where students from low income families study and where there is no aid from the government in terms of midday meals. Rajiv ji, this is a ongoing project and with no completion date. So can you please tell us more in detail about this project?
अपने में कहावत है, भूखे पेट विद्या नहीं आती है. These children come from the houses where both father and mother are working 16, 18 hours a day. They are out. They don't have enough money to pay for the food of their own children. If because we are giving food, they are willing to send their children to school. Otherwise, they would be at home or coming into bad habits and going to a different direction in life. Children are going to school because they get hot meal of the day in the school and possibly the only hot meal. Parents are happy because their child is studying. Child is happy because his stomach is full and then he can focus on studies. And teachers are happy because they get attendance. It's a win-win situation of everybody. And we end up today cooking our food for 3,000 students every day, and they are delivered in multiple locations in Bombay from our kitchen by our own delivery van and one higher tempo to 18 schools and 5 community centers where children from other schools come and study on a every day 225 to 240 days a year. Since past many 15 years the project undergoes, and it's a beautiful project when you see the children eating the food with the smiles on their faces. They are waiting for food to come. So every day the route map is defined. Which school, what is the recess time, when the food has to go, so that during the course of the day, from 8:30 onwards till 1:30, all the schools are delivered food, hot food at their particular recess time, which is identified by the school principal and inform to us.
So, what are the challenges you face in this type of a project?
One major challenge we face is that for us to feed one child, we have to have minimum commitment of 1 year at least. So we cannot say today we have funds, we feed you for 6 months, and tomorrow fund have not come, so we don't feed you for 6 months. It's not about food, it's about the psychology of that boy or a girl at that age, what he feels, how the world is treating him. So normally we would like donors to confirm food for minimum 1 year and up to 3 years, so that in that standard of seventh, eighth, ninth, there is a holistic development of the boy or a girl in many ways for this particular project. And obviously running a kitchen with food delivery across 20-30 kilometers on a daily basis has a lot of operational challenge. It's like a emergency response system. Today driver has not come, car got punctured, battery got discharged, accident in the morning, Maharaj did not come, too many rains, things got flooded on route, school holiday declared. We have to rise up to those challenges. There are no ifs and buts. My team has to take a decision and on the job ensure the food gets delivered. If driver does not come, hire a driver, car is conked out, get a new car on hire, deliver. Delivery is important. Food has to reach me, it has to reach on time, on dot, and in hot condition. So that's a purpose driven work for which they are empowered to take decision, and that's a lot of learning which takes place, ability to take decisions irrespective of the cost and implication, but to deliver hot food at right time to the student. That matters, and that's the only thing that matters. And these are operational challenges we learn with a lot of experiences how to take decision, what decisions to take, what backup plans to have in every type of eventuality that we what we may get, and to ensure a project is executed on a daily basis successfully.
You have received any type of corporate funding for this project, sir?
Yes, earlier we used to get funds from retail funds from HNIs and individuals. Over the past 5 6 years, we have got started getting a lot of CSR funds, where institution fund project for 1 year at least minimum, and they take up certain schools. Okay, these 4 school, 3 school, 5 school, we will ensure that you are funded fully for the entire year, and they come and visit the schools also for before taking decision during the course of execution to see on ground the impact, what funding what they have given, how it is changing lives of thousands of children.
Sir, how would additional corporate funding help you in enhancing these services?
Yeah, additional funding will help us one to ensure a smooth pipeline of food grains, cooking, kitchen management for 1 year and 2 year. Identify more schools in the vicinity where we are for underprivileged children to give them the food, and increase the more variety of food which we can give to these students on a daily basis, because you cannot give the same food every day. There has to be a difference in taste, there has to be a variety, and it has to be palatable. That means we need to have more variety. So additional CSR funding would help in all these respects.
And so, what would be the visibility that you would be able to provide to the corporates who are funding this project?
As far as the brand visibility is concerned, we do give them publicity by putting the logo on our website, putting the logo on our printed annual report, which is circulated to thousands of people by print and online media. And we also do social media post on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, giving them credit along with their name and tagging them if they request for public at large to see how their support has created a defined impact in the schools and these children's places.
It would probably also help you to get additional funding would also probably help you to get additional vehicles for distribution over a larger area of.
Yes, vehicle is also very important. We have one where we deliver, and some faraway places we hire a tempo to deliver because in that 3 hours window we have to deliver everything. So additional funding will help us to hire one more vehicle to deliver in those 3 hours in the morning from 8 to 11:30 more schools at the same time.
So right now you have about 3,000 deliveries daily in two vehicles.
Yes, 3,000 deliveries, food meals every day in two vehicles.
And what type of reporting and impact reporting would you be able to do for this project?
We give them statistics and names of the children who are being fed, their attendance on a quarterly basis, their weight before and after, and their marks and grades which they get from the schools, which we get information from the school principals. These are available continuously, which we take from the school principals and share with the people.
Donors, with the donors.
Yes.
It's a really remarkable initiative, and we really appreciate your contribution to this project, sir. आपका नाम
योगेश तानाजी सानप,
और आप ये नेशनल इंग्लिश स्कूल गोवंडी से कब से जुड़े हैं?
2012 से।
और रत्नानिधि की हेल्प से बच्चों का कुछ परफॉर्मेंस इम्प्रूव हुआ है या आपका ड्रॉप आउट रेट कम हुआ है?
बहुत इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ है। 2019 से हमारा रत्नानिधि से टाई अप हुआ है और सबसे पहले उनका प्रोजेक्ट हमारे पास मिड डे मील ही चालू हुआ। वो चालू होने के पीछे रीज़न ऐसा था कि हमारे एक पेरेंट्स है कि CST स्टेशन पे जो पटरी होते हैं वो क्लीनिंग करते हैं और गांव की गाड़ी जैसे आती थी वो क्लीनिंग करके लोग गांव वाले जो आते बम्बई में तो कुछ खाना बचा हुआ खाना क्या करते थे कचरे के डिब्बे के बाजू में रखते थे। फिर वो लेडी क्या करती थी उस खाने को क्या करती थी लेती थी और घर पे लाके बच्चों को खिलाती थी। और ये होने के बाद वो बच्चा क्या करता था कभी कभी माँ सुबह आती थी तो लेके वो क्या करता था टिफ़िन भर के वो स्कूल में आता था और स्कूल में भर के आने के बाद बच्चा टिफ़िन जैसे खोलता तो टीचर को स्मेल आता था कि ये स्मेल कैसा आ रहा। जब टीचर ने उसको देखा तो पूरा जो खाना है ख़राब हो चुका था। तो मुझे आके टीचर ने बताया सर बच्चा ख़राब खाना खाता है इससे बच्चों की तबीयत ख़राब होती है, हमें उसके लिए कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा। तो मैंने पेरेंट्स को बुलाया कि मैडम ऐसा ऐसा चीज़ है यार बच्चों का आप इतना ख़राब खाना क्यों भेजते हो। तो उसने हमें ये पूरा हिस्ट्री बताया कि सर मैं ऐसे ऐसे जगह पे काम करती हूँ, मुझे जल्दी जाना पड़ता है और मैं समय पे आती नहीं तो घर पे मेरे हस्बैंड मेरे को सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं, मैं अकेली रहती हूँ तो बच्चों को खाना कहाँ से मिलेगा, तो मैं वही खाना लेके बच्चों को देती हूँ। तो हमने बोला कि ठीक है अभी किया हो अगले साल से ऐसा नहीं करने का, हम कुछ ना कुछ बंदोबस्त करते हैं। तो हमारे पास DBM से एक मैडम आए थे, उन्होंने हमारे यहाँ पे सर्वे मतलब भगवान ने हमें याद किया, वो हमें पता नहीं 2-3 दिन के बाद ही मैडम कि उन्होंने हमारे स्कूल में विज़िट किया, सर ऐसा ऐसा है और हम आपके बच्चों को इतने बच्चे आपके तो हम आपके बच्चों को मील्स डेली प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। मैं बोला अच्छी बात है, तो आपका ऑफिस किधर है? तो उन्होंने DBM ने हमें एड्रेस दिया वहाँ इधर का खेतवाड़ी का रत्नानिधि चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट। हमारी पहचान हो गई जोशना मैडम से और जोशना मैडम स्कूल को विज़िट किया। विज़िट करने के बाद वो बोले एक दिन आप हमारे ऑफिस में हमारा खाना कैसे बनता है वो देखो, वो तो आपको बच्चों को पता चलेगा। तो हमारे उस समय एक प्रिंसिपल थे सज्जत मापारी सर, हम दोनों यहाँ से गए रत्नानिधि ऑफिस में और उस समय हमें खिचड़ी मिला था तो हमने जाके टेस्ट किया खिचड़ी, उनका किचन देखा इतना क्लीन था, तो हमारा घर भी और ऑफिस भी इतना क्लीन है उतना उनका किचन क्लीनिंग बहुत अच्छा लगा, हम इम्प्रेस हो गए। उसके बाद उन्होंने बोला आपको ऐसा लगता है तो कि 4 पेरेंट्स से आपको लगता है तो उनको लेके आओ। तो बोला हमने खाया, हमारे ऊपर हमारे पेरेंट्स का बड़ा ट्रस्ट है, हम ये खाना चालू कर सकते हैं। हमने सेम ईयर में अगले 8 दिन के बाद हमारा ये मिल्स चालू हो गया। मिल चालू होने के बाद बच्चों में हमने बच्चों को बताया तो पेरेंट्स खुश हो गए, चलो ठीक है हमारे बच्चे, हम जॉब पे जाते तो हमारे बच्चे समय पे खाना तो खा सकते हैं, वो भी ऐसा नहीं गर्म खाना खा सकते। तो बच्चों का आना, अटेंडेंस बढ़ गया। और अटेंडेंस बढ़ने के बाद हमारे स्कूल में हर 3 महीने में बच्चों का हाइट और वेट चेक होता है। तो बच्चों में वेट भी बढ़ने लगा, सेहत अच्छे रहने लगी, बीमारी का प्रमाण कम हो गया। तो ये सारी चीज़ें हमें बच्चों से, और ड्रॉप आउट ये बच्चे जो है, तो बच्चे खाना खाने से बच्चे का पढ़ाई में मन लगने लगा। तो हमें बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स मिला है उनसे।
Imagine a world where the child lives his dreams through books. In this digital age, where reading has become a scarce habit, Ratnanidhi promotes and cultivates the reading habit in children, even in the remotest area of the country. Under his flagship project of Mission Million Books, Ratnanidhi has undertaken a project called Sapno Ka Pitara, which is nothing but a mini library hanging from the wall and which opens up the children to all imagination and knowledge. Sir, can you please tell us more about this initiative?
The Mission Million Book project is about donating educational books to schools and colleges pan India. Since it started in 2016 in a very organized manner, so far Ratnandi has donated 1.2 million books to more than 5,000 schools and colleges from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Nagaland to Gujarat. And we have so many methods to work on setting up and strengthening libraries. We used to do exhibitions in schools and colleges in many cities like Bombay, Indore, Pune, Baramati, Satara, Dimapur in Nagaland, where 50,000, 100,000 books are kept in a school and colleges organized like a crossword bookstore. We invite local schools and colleges, teachers, principals, and librarians to come and collect the books of their choice absolutely free of cost from the exhibition hall, from the stalls, pack it into carton and go back to the schools and colleges. Because teachers and librarians know what they want, and you have 100,000 or 200,000 book selection in about 10,000 square feet of a big hall, all graded, detailed, subject wise. They can pick up and choose. People spend whole day. They come with 5, 6, 10 students and 3 teachers and tempo and collect the books. We did like that pre-COVID. Then obviously COVID everything was closed. So later on we started advertising on social media and getting requests from schools and colleges across India. After speaking to each of them and understanding what they want, our team used to curate the collection of 50 books, 100 books and ship it to them. This is absolutely free of cost across India. We don't charge anything to anyone, and we just request them to send us a thank you letter and photographs of in the school where the books and how are kept. That is fine with us. Later on, as we travel to interiors of India and rural India in the schools, we do realize that many times schools did not have even a good cupboard to keep the books. They used to keep an old suitcases what they were had. So we started manufacturing wooden cupboards. In one wooden cupboard, about 200 books, 150 200 books in 5 shelves are kept very easily. A good quality, finely made wooden cupboard with beautiful books, if it is kept in a school library or a school teacher's room, students will like it because it looks nice to even touch and feel. Since started 2 years ago, we have done about 1,300 such mini libraries with wooden cupboards have been set up. Then we created a product called Wisdom Tree. In a city, metro city like Bombay, only place where you have time to read is there when you are a patient in waiting in doctor's clinic. Otherwise, from morning 7 to evening 9, Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, we are running. Sunday is a one day we spend with the family and finish an household course, and Monday morning back to work again. You have no time to read. One book will take 6 months, but if you are a patient waiting in doctor's clinic, you have 3 patients in front of you and one patient is doctor. So between 30 minutes to 1 hour, you are going to wait. You have two choices. Either read yesterday's newspaper which is lying on the table, or one magazine or two magazine which is 1 month old, front page is teared off because it has passed through many hands, or you can look at Facebook or WhatsApp. But given a choice of a very beautiful looking tree shaped wooden cupboard and a nice books of your choice is there, which only a hand throws away, you are bound to pick up a book and read it, few pages. If you have your kid with you, he or she will also go there and pick up the books because we give children books, fiction, non fiction, spiritual, and for women we give books on gardening, cooking, spirituality, self-help, motivational, fiction, many type of books. 60 books per doctor along with the wooden shelf we have donated for 334 doctors in Bombay today. Out of 334, 49% are dentists. It is surprising. So we went to Indian Dental Association and told them about 150 dentists in Bombay city has opted for getting wisdom tree, given us a space we have set up. Why don't we do a MOU and with your help we can set up to 500 dentists, and now last month we have signed a MOU with Indian Dental Association to set up 500 such wisdom tree library in 500 dental clinics this year and 500 next year, because they are also very happy. Even IDA head office has our one wisdom tree, and the patients who come there and doctors who there have started reading.
So,
Then
so you are inculcating the reading habit not only in children but even among adults.
yeah, you end up, you have a book, you end up because you know book is good. You don't have time, but here you have time. Next, when we go to schools, in small schools, they don't have a library room or per se. Mainly a shelf for books are kept in teacher's room. The child at that stage has a little hesitancy go to teacher's room to ask for the library books. So instead of student going to library, why don't library come to student? So we started a project called Sapno Ka Pitara, which is actually a classroom library. There is no floor space required. A high quality cloth is used to make a sturdy wall hanging with two nails in the wall. It is can be hanged in four sections. About 20-25 books of children are kept. We are setting this such Sapno Ka Pitara in classrooms where in different age groups of students their types of books are kept. So what you may see in 6th, 7th standard student books will be different in Sapno Ka Pitara than what you may see in kindergarten. So that it is curated as per their age group and their requirement. The affinity to borrow books is much more. They themselves can touch and feel. They don't have to go out from their classroom. So they will end up spending recess time there. If they come early, they can pick up a book and read also between two tuition. If teacher is coming late, they can also pick up a book. That is left to the school principal. But this we have started now, and I believe we could be looking at around 10,000 such classroom libraries in 10,000 classrooms across length and breadth of Maharashtra, Bombay, and India.
You have received any reports from the schools where you have donated the Sapno Ka Pitara saying that the reading habits in children have been improved?
See, I mean, one YMCA school sent us a video. The students are queuing up with the teacher near Sapno Ka Pitara space in their classroom to pick up the books.
Oh, that
And there are
interested
5,
me.
10 children in a row, everyone taking books and then going to their table and reading it and putting back again and coming again, because they don't have to go out. Within 5 steps they have a book. That makes a big difference, tremendous difference. And so
So what?
now people are applying on Facebook to us. Okay, we want Sapno Ka Pitara.
These are schools.
These are schools. We will also be going to orphanages also, senior citizens, Garda Ghar also, and community engagement libraries also, which people are doing in community. Because we can't do everything ourselves. It's about network effect. We work with those who also have the same passion about reading and books and have the shared the same mission. We'll work with them to set up such libraries in their community. They will manage. We have done our job. They do their job together. The difference is there, and books are made available to kids to
The
read.
impact
That's the
shows.
purpose.
And so, what type of funding would you be looking for this project? Corporate funding?
For this corporate funding, yes, the whole aspect of importing such books, collecting books from society at large, making of these containers, sorting, storing the books, and curating with the librarian to as per what they require. Now that we have started printing books also, copyrighted state books, royalty free. In Marathi, we have started printing ourselves because it is cheaper than many times buying the books, and we can ship it out to thousands. And logistic operation to go back to deliver to the school. This is where the corporate funding can be utilized to increase the skill of availability of a good quality library to the needy school across length and breadth of India.
And you would be able to give visibility to the corporates by branding on the hanging units.
Definitely. There is a lot of branding opportunities here. The wooden shelves and the Sapnuka Pitara itself has a very big masted space on the top where today we are putting Ratnanidhi branding. Along with that, we put corporate branding also because in association with, followed by logo on the website, printed logo on our printed literature of annual report, and social media post on a continuing basis is what branding is available to the CSR and corporates who wish to support such projects.
This was be countrywide branding, in fact.
National, and each book, and the book never, nobody throws away the book.
Yeah, it goes
It's
across.
for 5-10 years, thousands of students and parents and teachers have permanent visibility in front of them as and when they go to the place to select the books.
And what type of reporting would you be doing for this project, sir?
We share with them complete data. How many books given to which school, when, who is a point of contact, telephone number, email ID, photograph, and thank you letter for the institution. And they are free to even visit themselves or send their associates or colleague to go and talk to the principal or the doctor's clinic or the classroom to see what happens. At the end of the year, the school's report of utilization of books as and when principal would send us also can be shared with institutions.
This is also a very commendable project, sir. Inculcating the interest in reading among children as well as adults in this digital age is really commendable. We appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
लाइब्रेरी भी आपको प्रोवाइड
लाइब्रेरी हमारे लास्ट ईयर से ही उन्होंने दिया हुआ है कि हम गए थे उस समय तो हमें कुछ लाइब्रेरी का ज़रूरत था. रीज़न ऐसा था उस समय कि गवर्नमेंट का पॉलिसी ऐसा था कि बच्चों को ज़्यादा पढ़ाई में ही बिजी मत रखो, कुछ पढ़ाई रीडिंग करने के लिए भी थोड़ा चांस दो तो बच्चों को कुछ खुद का भी नॉलेज बढ़े. तो हमने ऐसा सिस्टम किया था कि एवरी सैटरडे हमारा स्कूल छूटता है 10:15 बजे. 10:15 से 10:30 के समय पे बच्चे खाना खाए और 10:30 से लेके 11:30 बजे जो बच्चों को बुक पढ़ने में इंटरेस्ट है वो एक कम हमने क्लासरूम अवेलेबल किया था. उस क्लासरूम में बच्चों को क्या करते हम जो आपको जो मन चाहे किताब निकालो और उसको आप पढ़ो और पढ़ने के बाद अगले दिन जो मंडे आता था उस मंडे में आपने क्या रीडिंग किया उससे क्या मिला वो आप ग्रुप क्लास में जाके बच्चों के साथ शेयर करो. तो बच्चों में एक स्टोरी बताने का तरीका चालू हो गया और थॉट ऑफ द डे भी हमने चालू कर. तो बच्चों में ना रीडिंग का हौसला बढ़ गया, रीडिंग अच्छा होने लगा.
तो सारी बुक्स रत्नानिधि ने डोनेट की हैं.
सारी बुक रत्नानिधि ने
कितनी बुक्स डोनेट की होंगी आपको?
कम से कम 2-2.5 हज़ार तक का किताब दिए.
2-2.5 हज़ार. और ये किस टाइप की किताबें हैं मतलब?
नोवेल्स है, कोई बच्चों को स्टोरी बुक्स है, कुछ बुक्स तो जैसे रामायण है, महाभारत है, डिक्शनरीज है,
एनसाइक्लोपीडिया
है,
एटलसेस.
उसके बाद डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम से उनके बारे में बायोग्राफीज है. बहुत सारी किताब है, डिफरेंट है, अलग अलग कैटेगरीज में हिस्टोरिकल है.
इतनी सारी किताबें रखने के लिए जगह है क्लासरूम्स में?
अब भी हमने एक पूरा एक प्रॉपर लाइब्रेरी रूम हमें सेटअप करके दे रहे हैं रत्ननिधि. तो हमने एक ही रूम उसी के लिए हमने अवेलेबल रखा. तो अभी हमारा सेटअप चालू हो जाएगा.
We all know that some students have to drop out from school because of lack of funding. They are not able to afford education and they have to leave the school without completing their studies. Ratnanidhi addresses this issue by awarding scholarships to meritorious students
Yes.
in Mumbai. To
Yes.
Mumbai schools right now, the initiative is limited only to Mumbai.
Very true.
And I think with additional funding, sir, you would be able to cover schools outside Maharashtra and Mumbai, right?
Sure, definitely.
And how are these schools identified and the students identified? What documentation is checked whether a student is eligible for a scholarship or not?
So we talk to the school principals where we are giving food. Then we talk to school authorities where we have set up libraries in Bombay City, and we have other educational projects like vision project in the school. Principal knows which students are good but they need money to be ensure that their grades are not hampered because of lack of funding. So students principal would share the details with the students. We speak with the students and ask student along with the parents to come for personal interview. Each interview takes about half an hour to 1 hour, which happens or twice or thrice a week on a continuing basis during the year. Our team takes the interview. There about multiple factors are asked to the student to understand so much of intelligence, emotional quotient, speed of response, enterpriseness of the students, and their relationship with the parents. We ask the income certificate, light electricity bill, rent receipt if they are staying in their rented premises or in their ration cards. So this allows us to know which kind of income they are having. Then we ask questions of IQ, EQ, general knowledge to understand the sharpness of the students beyond academic studies, phonetics, body language, confident of speaking, interest beyond studies. Want to play a guitar, want to play a flute or dancing, singing, acrobat. So many things are there in the life. Football, cricket, anything they wish to have. They allow us to understand. And then we give them first installment of the check. After that, we wait for 3 4 months, ask them to come again. In between, we talk with the principal. Their attendance has it improved? Their grades has it remained same, gone down or improved? So we have some idea of what is happening. Then after 4 3 4 months, we call them again with their parents and we take second interview. That time we again evaluate should we give the balance installment or should we not give, depending upon the factors to understand how they have performed. Are they serious enough to make good use of the money to improve the career of the kids? Because money is not only given for school fees, it is also to be used for tuition fees, buying good garment, tennis shoes, if they want to play sports, cricket bat or season ball, or a baseball bat or table tennis racket or a carom or a chess. If you want to attend dancing classes or music classes, money can be used for that also. It's about holistic development of a child. So that fear of money like Damocles sword is not hanging on their family, then he or she can full-fledged focus on ensuring a child does not spend time in any household work but develops as a nice individual. That's the purpose. And we end up also doing surprise home visits sometime. We talk to them, ask their neighbors how they are, if we have some doubts. By and far large, we have a reasonably good judgment of what happens. And our relationship with the principal is also very close because same school we work with so many things. They share a lot of findings with the students also because the teachers meet students daily and they have many problems. So it's not about having all the right answers. It's all about creating right efforts by the family, which is a determining factor.
Sir, you said it does not cover only the fees, but it covers for other activities and talents of
Yes,
the child. So,
yes.
how do you determine the amount of the scholarship?
I mean, we give between 10,000 to 30,000 rupees. We
That
ask the
is,
child also, the parents also, what are you going to do? And some decisions is best left to them. We can't do micromanagement. We know we give 50% now, 50% at the after 3 4 months. There is enough time for us to understand. Sometimes they have so much of low self-esteem. They don't have answers. They have a lot of questions themselves whether we'll give money or not. They are not like prepared for any interviews, things like that. So we can't push them to the wall to seek ready-made answer. It's not about being black and white. Give them time and space. Money is not going to go waste. That much we know.
so if you ask for corporate funding, what would the amount if a corporate is to sponsor a few children for scholarship, awarding scholarships? How would you determine how much the corporate has sponsored for a particular child if the amount is not fixed?
No, amount is fixed is 25,000 rupees is we tell the corporate. We are getting CSR funding at 25,000 rupees per child.
25,000 per child.
So 100 child, 25 lakhs. Now some will give 20, some will give 35. That is on case to case basis as per the discussion with the student and the parent. And the data sheets of all the student, parent, their Aadhaar card, the income, ITR return, the ration card is all shared on a Google Drive with the corporate sponsor.
With the corporate
So they will assess and their contact details are also there. The people also are welcome. Some of the donors sit with us during interviews also today. So they also have face-to-face dialogue with the student. Decision is ours, but they are welcome to come, contribute, see. And many times we ask corporate to give their staff, employee for mentorship to some of the select students on a weekly basis or monthly basis. Say 10 hours a year you spend
as
on
an
other
employee engagement
employee
activity.
engagement. So automatically the circle is covered. One way or another, they are getting connected with the beneficiaries.
And sir, what age group of students you award scholarships to?
We give from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th standard students.
Higher, from
Say,
5th onwards. You
5th
can
onwards, secondary school students.
And so this also is an ongoing sort of thing. You cannot give scholarship 1 year and then discontinue the scholarship
No,
in the
we
next
should
year.
not. So, no doubt there are checks and balances. But if student deserves, then we should continue till they finish their school board exams.
So corporate sponsorship also should be for a long term.
Yeah, at least 3 years. So, because then the child is also assured, no? Okay, he
Exactly,
will not
yeah.
take any part-time job nearby to earn some school fees or anything. He's fully focused on studies till he passes his board exam. Then life takes another shape.
So it's a long-term commitment
Long-term
from the
commitment,
corporate if
yes.
they
Yes.
plan to go.
Yes.
And you would give them regular impact assessment, performance reports of the
Yeah,
child.
we
at
share all the
schools.
data on an ongoing basis with them, definitely, and they are also some of them sit with during interviews also, or we take them to school also where they can meet several students at one time, rather than visiting individual houses across length and breadth of Bombay.
And how many scholarships have been awarded till now, sir?
So far, we have done about 594 children have been awarded scholarship in past 8 years or 9 years.
This initiative was started in another last 8 years or 9 years.
It was started during Bombay terror attack of 26/11.
Oh.
After that, so many parents passed away. Their children, Bombay police gave us around 300 children. To them, we gave scholarship till each of them finished their graduation. And then, obviously, then they finished graduation. We converted that into scholarship for our food schools. And now, from food school, many other schools, because we have other project relationship, we added that portfolio. Then
So
those
it was
schools also.
extended.
Yeah, I mean, the knowledge remains with the team.
Yes.
It's just the benefits also same. The context changes. that's
Context
all.
changes. That's right. This is, I'm sure you've helped quite a few students from dropping out from school without
Yes,
completing
yes.
their studies, and they are doing very well in life today.
Definitely.
And you will be blessed for it, sir.
Thank you.
Scholarships भी provide करते हैं.
स्कॉलरशिप अभी करंट ईयर ये उन्होंने प्रोजेक्ट चालू किया है स्टैंडर्ड 7 और 8-9 के स्टूडेंट के लिए जो बच्चे होशियार हैं उनके परसेंटेज अच्छे हैं उन्हीं के लिए उन्होंने स्कॉलरशिप भी चालू कर
कितने परसेंटेज के ऊपर में
70 अबाउट
70 एंड
70%
स्कॉलरशिप
above.
तो उनकी पूरी फीस माफ हो जाती है मतलब
तो उनका पूरा फीस रत्ननिधि चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट
से
बच्चों
आता
को
है
आता है
बच्चों को नहीं देना पड़ता है माँ बाप
बच्चों
को
को
नहीं
देना
देना
नहीं
पड़ता
पड़ता है क्योंकि पेरेंट्स ही स्लम है और बच्चे अच्छे होनियार है बच्चे अच्छे से कर सकते हैं तो उन्हीं के लिए रत्ननिधि चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट लगा चलता है
We all know that vision is a very necessary prerequisite for a good performance of a student. Most students do not even know they have a vision impairment till there is a check. And for families who come from the lower income groups, there is no money to spend on an eye check. So, what happens is the child does not perform well in school and ultimately drops out. This is a one of a kind project by Ratnanidhi, which is called Vision 1 Million, in which SLR spectacles are distributed to children with vision impairment after conducting vision camps in the schools. Sir, please tell us more about this project.
So, Essilor Luxottica is the world's largest manufacturer of spectacle lenses. Chrysler, Verilux, Ray-Ban, these are brands sold in India. These brands are all owned by a French company called Essilor Luxottica. Ratnaniti Trust has become one of the world's largest global charity partner, Essilor Luxottica, and we have imported huge quantity of lenses from Essilor Luxottica. Now we are doing vision screening in all the schools in the state of Maharashtra. We also MOU with government of Maharashtra, which we did in 2019 and now renewed again in 2023 to do a screening of 1 million school children in government school, municipal school and private low income schools. These doctors, optometrists go to the school, do the vision screening with high quality instruments, give us the prescription numbers. We make the spectacles using the lenses what we are given. So there are spherical lenses, cylindrical lenses and bifocal lenses. As per the requirement, we have to cut and grind some of the lenses, fit them into frame, take them as per individual student's number, pack them into plastic boxes and then we give to the school. Now many of the students can't read on the blackboard, can't read the textbook, everything what they see is out of focus. As a result, they keep on failing for 2-3 years. Their self-esteem, confidence goes down. They become a person of ridicule in their school peers, and parents or teachers think वो मंद बुद्धि का लड़की है, मंद बुद्धि का लड़का है. वो मंद बुद्धि का नहीं है. We don't even know. The issue is vision correction. So when we do vision correction and you give the spectacle of what you and I are wearing, same quality, prescription, custom manufactured glasses to each of the students, it just changes how they look at the world and how world looks at them. They are able to see well, they understand what teacher is writing on the blackboard, are able to reply their arithmetic, mathematics and all questions. All the friends, they earn the respect of their friends and family and they pass their exams with good grades. It changes the future of the child by giving such high quality prescription glasses. So in Bombay, we are going to all the schools and our doctors carry auto-refractometers and trial set which we have purchased so that we are able to hire doctors and send them to schools on a daily basis. Every day they go to one school, obviously save and except summer vacation or Diwali vacation, it goes every day. So far we have done about 2,75,000 students and different people we have done. Average, I think around 25,000 spectacles have been already distributed. Lately, post COVID, we have seen that 18% of the students are having vision correction issue. And pre-COVID and post-COVID, out of vision correction students, pre-COVID, 12% of them had a need of cylindrical lenses, astigmatism, X and Y axis. Post-COVID, the percentage of students needing cylindrical lenses instead of spherical has increased from 12% to 40%. Now, these are statistics of 100,000 children screening across 100, 200 schools across different districts of Maharashtra. During summer vacation, for road safety, we do drivers screening in BST. So last year we did around 7,900 drivers in 26 bus depots in Bombay. We did screening of BST drivers and conductors. 2,900 of them needed spectacle. About 800 or 900 was spherical and 1,900 or 2,000 was bifocal. We manufactured as per individual prescription of each BST driver or conductor in 26 bus depot and give them the finest quality spectacle the world has seen to all of them. Now they changes their life. It changes everybody. So now we are we are talking to BST and auto rickshaw union and taxi union to do this work in Bombay also and in Nasik district also, where we can change the lives of these auto rickshaw drivers and school students to create a change.
So this project is restricted to Maharashtra right now?
We started with the focusing in Maharashtra because if we focus on a state in a territory, physical impact is visible. India is big, large, and there is lot of operational work involved. Actually, we end up donating more spectacle than any other single shop even selling it in this kind of scale. Now we have discussed with the government of Gujarat, and post summer vacation in July, we'll be starting with Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation vision screening of 100,000 students in 459 Ahmedabad Municipal schools. And we also are in a process of signing a MOU with the Union Territory of Ladakh, where around 69,000 school students in the entire Union Territory of Ladakh, we have requested to do vision screening in next 2 years and give every single student who needs prescription spectacle of SL or Luxottica.
What is the frequency of the vision camps, sir?
Vision camps are done every day.
No, every day, yes, but once you have conducted in a school and given specs to the children, is there any follow-up vision camp to check whether their eyesight has improved or the spectacles have helped or they have increased or decreased?
As of now, there is no second camp done in the school. We follow up with every single school after 3 months to 6 months, talking to the principal, if possible, visit if available, to understand what the changes we have, our spectacle have made. But Maharashtra is also so large. We are working in rural districts like Chandrapur, Beed, Nasik, Satara, where we are giving spectacle on every 2 weeks. Spectacle boxes are going from our side to them, and all these places, either the collector or Zilla Parishad CEO, with the help of education officer, we are connected to do this screening and do this work.
How many spectacles would have been distributed by now, sir?
25 to 26,000 spectacle we already donated
Over
so
a
far.
period of
Mostly post-COVID,
post
but few thousand were just pre-COVID because we started in 18-19. It just took, because the project has to take shape, the structure has to be organized, doctors have to be identified, go to schools, make them say yes to believe that we will be giving prescription glasses and not ready-made glasses which are in the market. It took some time to make it. And then the COVID struck, the schools were closed, everything was over. Then we started in 22 once the COVID got over.
recommenced it in 22.
Yes, yes.
And what type of, you have received any corporate funding for this project, sir?
Once we received a small corporate funding, that was in the year 22 to 23 for about 100 school and 10,000 spectacles. But after that, there is no funding so far we have received. It is done from internally by our trust only.
So, how would corporate funding help you to enhance this initiative?
We can just scale up. We can scale up 10 times.
You reach out to more.
I mean, our goal is million student, and we are geared up
Vision
with
million.
that kind of inventory. Instead of doing it in 5 years, we can do it in 2 years. It's about getting more doctors and asking them to go to different schools and putting a team in place to fit the lenses, spectacle, guide, cut, fit, tech, computerize and deliver. That operation part. It just, and you have the raw material with the world best quality. So,
and visibility to the corporate also would be.
yeah, a lot of visibility. Matlab, every single spectacle packing box can have the corporate sticker label which is permanently lying with the student as long he or she takes care of the spectacle. Plus branding on our website, our printed annual report, and a social media post which will give a visibility to the corporate for the kind of support they have created and given to effect these changes.
And the reporting would be again impact assessment also to the donor.
Yeah, reporting would be form of the entire Excel sheet of every single student details.
To whom you have
To whom
given
we have given the
spectacles.
spectacle and the feedback which we get from the student and the principal 6 months down the line having used
Regarding
the
the
spectacle.
improvement in the performance
So those feedback also are being shared with the donors.
with the donors.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I think you are doing a lot to support education among the underserved communities in India, and I'm sure God will bless you for it, and the blessings of so many people are with you. Are your accounts independently audited, sir?
Yeah. It's a third party, separate auditor.
So you are
Does
able to
account.
give a fund utilization certificate certified by a independent chartered accountant.
We do that also currently for many corporate donors. Quarterly submission of project execution details and fund utilizations are given. The end of the year also, the entire project execution summary and data points of the beneficiaries in either case is shared along with the project report, and the fund utilization statement.
तो रत्न निधि का हेल्थ कैंप चलता ही था, तो उस समय हमने बोला कि उसके साथ कुछ आई चेकअप भी होगा तो अच्छा होगा, तो चलेगा। कि मैं बोला बहुत अच्छी बात है मैडम, चालू करो। तो आई चेकअप होने के बाद कुछ बच्चे को मतलब अप्रैल मार्च फेब एंडिंग में हुआ, वो मार्च में एग्ज़ाम हुआ, हमें वो चश्मे मिले। और बच्चों को देने की वजह से बच्चों का जो अभी जो प्रॉब्लम्स है वो सॉल्व हो गए।
और उनकी परफॉर्मेंस
भी इम्प्रूवमेंट हो गई है, और रेगुलर पहने से कुछ बच्चों का चश्मा भी निकल गया।
अच्छा, थोड़े जो जिसके कम नंबर
कम नंबर है उनके वो कवर हो गए।
पर चश्मा तो फिर कंटिन्यूस विजन कैंप करते हैं क्या कैसे होता है? कभी नंबर बढ़ गया बच्चे का तो हर साल करते हैं या
नहीं,
एक ही
हेल्थ
टाइम
कैंप तो उनका हर साल रहता है। आई चेकअप इस साल होगा।
इस साल होगा?
हाँ।
मतलब वो कितने एक एक साल में करते हैं, 2 साल में?
6 महीने में होता है।
6 महीने में विजन कैंप करते हैं। तो फिर जो बच्चों को चश्मे की ज़रूरत होती है उनको
तो वो प्रोवाइड भी रत्न निधि करते
ऐसे कितने बच्चे को अभी तक स्पेक्स दिए
हैं।
होंगे?
मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि 200 सवा सवा 200 बच्चों को उन्होंने
200
चश्मा, 150 बच्चे तक तो बच्चे चश्मे मिले थे।
और उनकी परफॉर्मेंस में
बहुत अच्छी
रिमार्केबल
इम्प्रूवमेंट
इम्प्रूवमेंट
बहुत इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ मैडम। और ऐसा चश्मा दिया कि कोई नाम नहीं रख सकता है। समझो बच्चे को ऊपर से गिर भी गया तो उस फूट नहीं सकता, ऐसा चश्मे उन्होंने दिया कि बच्चे हैं कभी भी गिर सकता है, खेल सकते हैं, तो वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ। बहुत अच्छा क्वालिटी का चश्मा था।
So thank you very much, sir. Your team is doing an excellent job, and there are lots of one of their kind initiatives in the area of education. I'm sure it has helped a lot of children in promoting education in a country like India. And may God bless you for all your endeavors. We wish you all success.
Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity as some ways to share the small stories of change, what is possible. And I believe it can be heard by more and more people who could join to give small portion of their time and effort to make future of India better and brighter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. For our viewers who are with us, a big thank you. All those of you who wish to support Ratnanidhi, the details are in the description of the video. Apart from funding support, if you want to donate in kind, you may please donate used garments and laptops, desktops, tabs to Ratnanidhi for distribution to needy beneficiaries. The details are in the description of the video. For those philanthropic organizations who wish to be showcased on the podcast, please do contact us. The details are in the description. See you again soon. Till then, take care and God bless you all.